In the small grey town of Millbrook, where factory chimneys painted the sky and hope seemed as thin as winter's light, Emily Harris lived a life of quiet determination. At 32, she carried the weight of survival like a heavy coat, worn but unbroken. Her world was a delicate balance of love, struggle, and unwavering hope. The textile factory where Emily worked was a massive brick building that had seen better days. Its windows were dusty, its machines old and grumbling, much like the workers who operated them. Every morning she would wake up before dawn, her alarm clock breaking the silence of their small two-bedroom apartment. Her children, Tom and Lucy, still sound asleep, would stir slightly at the soft sounds of her morning routine. Her husband James had passed away 2 years earlier from a sudden heart condition, leaving behind medical bills that seemed to grow like persistent weeds. Emily remembered the days when they dreamed of a better life, of sending their children to college, of taking a family vacation. Now those dreams felt like distant memories, replaced by the immediate need to keep food on the table and a roof over their heads. The factory work was hard. Her hands, once soft and smooth, were now rough and calloused. Each stitch she sewed, each piece of fabric she handled, told a story of survival. Her supervisor, Mr. Roberts, was a strict man who rarely showed kindness, but Emily never complained. She knew every hour of work meant another meal, another chance for her children to have a better future. Tom, now 12, was a quiet boy who understood more than a child his age should. He would help his mother with small tasks, collecting groceries, watching his little sister Lucy after school. Lucy, just 8 years old, was a bundle of energy and hope. Her bright smile could light up even the darkest corners of their challenging life. Money was always tight. Emily would carefully count every penny, plan every meal, mend clothes instead of buying new ones. Some nights, after tucking the children into bed, she would sit at the kitchen table, surrounded by bills and calculator, trying to make the numbers work. Her eyes would sometimes fill with tears, but she would quickly wipe them away. Crying was a luxury she couldn't afford. The winter that year was particularly harsh. The heating bill arrived like an unexpected enemy, threatening to destroy the careful budget Emily had planned. She took extra shifts at the factory, sometimes working 12-hour days. Her body ached, but her spirit remained unbroken. One particularly cold evening, as snow covered the streets of Millbrook, Emily sat with her children. Tom was helping Lucy with her homework. His serious eyes focused on helping his sister understand math problems. Emily watched them, her heart full of love and determination. "We're going to be okay," she would tell them, her voice steady and warm. "We're going to make it." The local community wasn't always kind. Some looked down on single mothers, on workers struggling to make ends meet. But Emily held her head high. She knew her worth wasn't determined by their judgmental looks or whispered comments. At night, after the children were asleep, Emily would sometimes allow herself to dream. She would think about education, about opportunities she had missed. Something inside her knew there had to be more than this constant struggle. She didn't know how, but she believed change was possible. Her mother, Margaret, would often help with the children. A retired school teacher, she provided not just childcare, but emotional support. "You're stronger than you know," she would tell Emily, holding her hand during moments of doubt. The apartment they lived in was small but clean. Every corner spoke of careful management. Photographs of James were carefully placed, a reminder of love and loss. Tom and Lucy's school drawings decorated the walls, splashes of color against the modest surroundings. Emily's world was small, but full of love. Each day was a battle, each night a moment of quiet reflection. She didn't see herself as a hero, just a mother doing what needed to be done. Her love was her greatest weapon, her hope her most powerful shield. As the night settled over Millbrook, Emily looked at her sleeping children. In their peaceful faces, she saw promise. She saw a future waiting to unfold, a story yet to be written. And despite everything, she smiled. The community center stood like a beacon of hope in Millbrook, its brick walls holding promises of change for those willing to listen. One rainy Wednesday evening, Emily noticed a small poster about free evening classes. Her fingers traced the edges of the paper, hesitation and hope dancing in her eyes. Life had taught Emily to be careful with dreams. Every opportunity seemed like a distant luxury, something meant for other people, but something about this poster spoke to her. Computer skills training, words that seemed both exciting and terrifying. That night, she discussed it with her mother. "Margaret, I'm too old," Emily whispered, her fingers nervously twisting her wedding ring. Margaret's eyes sparkled with wisdom. "You're never too old to learn," she said firmly. The first class was terrifying. Emily walked into the community center, feeling like an outsider. Younger students filled the room, their confidence making her feel small and insignificant. Her hands trembled as she signed the registration form, each letter a battle against her own self-doubt. Mr. William Edwards, the instructor, was different from what Emily expected. A kind-faced man in his 50s, he had a way of making everyone feel welcome. He noticed Emily's nervousness, offering a warm smile that seemed to say, "You belong here." The computer looked like an alien machine to Emily. Her fingers, used to handling fabric in the textile factory, felt clumsy on the keyboard. The first lesson was basic, turning on the computer, understanding the keyboard. Things that seemed simple to others felt like complex challenges to her. Tom and Lucy were excited about their mother's new adventure. "You're going to learn computers," Lucy would say, her eyes bright with admiration. Tom helped her practice at home, showing patience beyond his 12 years. Each evening became a careful dance of arrangements. Margaret would watch the children, preparing dinner, ensuring homework was completed. Emily would rush from her factory job, change quickly, and head to the community center. The first weeks were challenging. Emily struggled with concepts that seemed easy to younger students. Mouse clicks felt like complex mathematics. But Mr. Edwards was patient, breaking down each lesson into simple steps. "Everyone learns differently," he would say, watching Emily's determined face. "The key is not speed, but understanding." Her fellow students were surprisingly supportive. A young woman named Rebecca would often help Emily, explaining things slowly and kindly. The community center became more than a classroom. It became a place of support and hope. At home, Emily practiced secretly. After the children slept, she would sit with the old computer Tom's school had donated, practicing mouse movements and typing. Her determination burned bright, a small flame of hope in the quiet night. The factory work continued, but now Emily had something else. She had a dream, a possibility of something different. Each class brought new confidence, small victories that built upon each other. Margaret watched her daughter's transformation with quiet pride. "Your father would be proud," she would say, remembering how much he believed in education. As weeks passed, Emily's typing became smoother. Her fear slowly transformed into curiosity. The computer was no longer an enemy, but a tool of possibility. She learned to create documents, send emails, and understand basic computer operations. Her children became her biggest supporters. "Mom's becoming a computer expert," Tom would proudly tell his friends. Lucy would help her practice, turning learning into a game. The factory remained the same. Long hours, difficult work. But Emily was changing. Her posture was different, her eyes brighter. She was no longer just surviving, she was preparing to thrive. One evening, Mr. Edwards approached her after class. "There are job opportunities for people with basic computer skills," he said, showing her a local job posting. "Would you be interested?" Emily's heart raced. A job that wasn't in the factory? The possibility seemed both exciting and terrifying. As she walked home that night, the rain had stopped. A small rainbow stretched across Millbrook's grey sky. Emily took it as a sign. Her journey was just beginning, and for the first time in years, she allowed herself to truly hope. The computer. Classes were more than just learning skills. They were her pathway to a different future, a chance to rewrite her story, one keyboard stroke at a time. The local business office of Henderson and Thompson looked intimidating. Its glass windows reflected the morning sunlight, making Emily feel small and uncertain. She stood outside, her carefully prepared resume tucked inside a simple folder, her hands trembling slightly. Mr. Edwards had recommended her for an administrative assistant position. "You're ready," he had said during their last computer class. But Emily's mind was filled with doubt. Who would hire a factory worker with limited computer experience? Her interview outfit had been carefully chosen, a second-hand navy blue blazer from the local charity shop, a crisp white blouse and her most presentable black trousers. Margaret had helped her prepare, ironing each piece with care and offering words of encouragement. "Remember," her mother had said, "you are more than your past. You are your potential." The receptionist, a young woman named Claire, smiled warmly. "Mrs. Harris," she called. Emily's heart raced. The waiting room felt like it was closing in around her. Years of factory work had taught her to be invisible, but today she was choosing to be seen. Mr. Robert Thompson, the company's hiring manager, was a stern-looking man in his 50s. His office was neat, with certificates and awards lining the walls. Emily sat carefully, trying to control her nervous breathing. "Tell me about yourself," he said, looking directly at her. Emily spoke about her years at the textile factory, her recent computer training, her dedication to learning. She didn't try to be someone she wasn't. She was honest about her journey, a single mother seeking a better life for her children. Her hands shook slightly as she demonstrated her newly learned computer skills. Each mouse click felt like a small battle. But Mr. Thompson watched carefully, seeing something beyond the nervousness. The interview lasted 45 minutes. Emily left feeling both exhausted and strangely hopeful. Tom and Lucy were waiting at Margaret's house, eager to hear about her day. "How did it go?" Lucy asked, her eyes wide with excitement. "We'll see," Emily responded, not wanting to create false hope. A week passed. Each day felt like a year. Emily continued her factory work, trying not to think about the possibility of change. Then, on an ordinary Thursday morning, the phone rang. "Mrs. Harris," Mr. Thompson's voice said, "we'd like to offer you a part-time administrative position." The world seemed to stop. Part-time work, an office job, a chance to use her new skills. The pay was modest, more than factory work, but not enough to completely change their situation. But it was a start, a possibility, a door opening where before there had been only walls. Her first day was a mix of excitement and terror. The office was different from the factory, clean, quiet, filled with computers and the soft sound of typing. Claire helped her settle in, showing her where things were, explaining basic office procedures. Emily discovered she was good at organizing. Her years of managing a tight household budget translated well into administrative work. She was meticulous, careful, always double-checking her work. Mr. Thompson watched her progress. "You're a quick learner," he told her one afternoon. Those words meant more than any paycheck. At home, everything started to change subtly. Tom could now join the school football team. Lucy began taking music lessons. Small dreams that had seemed impossible were now within reach. Margaret's pride was evident. "Your father would have loved seeing this," she would say, tears forming in her eyes. The factory remained part of Emily's life. She worked reduced hours now, balancing both jobs. Her body was tired, but her spirit was alive with possibility. 1. Evening, looking at her children doing homework, Emily realized something important. This wasn't just about a job. This was about showing them that change is possible, that education matters, that one person's determination can shift an entire family's trajectory. The computer, once a terrifying machine, now felt like a friend. Each keystroke was a message of hope, each document a testament to her journey. Millbrook remained the same, a small town with big challenges. But Emily was different. She was no longer just surviving, she was beginning to truly live. Her story was just beginning. The small apartment on Maple Street began to change. It wasn't just about money. It was about hope, possibility, and dreams taking shape. Emily's new job brought more than just extra income. It brought a transformation that touched every corner of their lives. Tom discovered football. His coach, Mr. Peters, noticed the boy's determination. After years of watching from the sidelines, Tom now wore a team jersey with pride. The registration fees, once an impossible dream, were now manageable. Each practice became a celebration of possibility. Lucy's music lessons started unexpectedly. An old piano sat in the community center, waiting for someone to bring it to life. When the music teacher heard her play, her eyes lit up. "She has talent," she told Emily, suggesting Lucy might be good enough for the school's music program. The apartment itself seemed to breathe differently. New curtains replaced the old, faded ones. Tom helped paint the living room, his 12-year-old hands careful and proud. Lucy decorated her small bedroom with drawings and musical notes, transforming the space into her personal kingdom of creativity. Margaret visited more often, watching the transformation with quiet joy. "Your father would have loved this," she would say, her eyes catching the subtle changes. She helped Emily create a small study corner, a desk by the window, a place for learning and dreaming. Emily's work at the office brought unexpected connections. Mr. Thompson began to trust her, more giving her additional responsibilities. She learned quickly, her factory-trained discipline translating perfectly into office skills. Her computer training paid off, each document she created a small victory. Weekends became different. Instead of constant worry about bills, they now planned small adventures. A trip to the local park, a movie night, sometimes just a special dinner together. These moments were precious, filled with laughter and possibility. Tom became more confident. His school grades improved. The football team gave him a sense of belonging he'd never experienced before. He started helping other students with math, his quiet intelligence finding a voice. Lucy's music became a source of family joy. She practiced piano every evening, her small fingers dancing across the keys. The apartment filled with melodies that seemed to chase away old shadows of struggle. Financial stability brought more than just material comforts. It brought hope. Emily could now plan for the future. She started thinking about completing her business certification, inspired by her new work environment. The factory remained part of her life but no longer defined her. She worked reduced hours, balancing between the textile job and her new administrative position. Each day felt like a step towards something better. Conversations at home changed. No more hushed discussions about bills and struggles. Now they talked about Tom's football practice, Lucy's music lessons, Emily's work experiences. The fear that once dominated their discussions was replaced by excitement and possibility. Margaret's support remained crucial. She helped with childcare, provided emotional support, and celebrated every small victory. "You're breaking cycles," she would tell Emily, recognizing the profound change happening. The community began to notice. Neighbors who once looked down on Emily now saw a different woman, confident, determined, building a better life for her children. Their small acts of kindness, a shared recipe, a helpful recommendation, became more frequent. Emily's transformation inspired others. At the community center, women would approach her asking about her journey. She became an unexpected role model, proving that change is possible with determination and support. Birthdays and holidays took on new meaning. Small gifts that were once impossible now became joyful traditions. A new board game, music books for Lucy, sports equipment for Tom. These were more than just presents. They were symbols of hope. As winter approached, the apartment felt different, warm, hopeful. The old struggles hadn't completely disappeared, but they no longer controlled their lives. Each family member was growing, learning, dreaming. One evening, as Emily watched Tom help Lucy with her homework, and Margaret knitted in the corner, she realized something profound. This wasn't just about survival anymore. This was about living. Truly living. The small apartment on Maple Street had become more than a home. It had become a sanctuary of hope, a testament to the power of determination, love, and belief in oneself. A year passed, and Millbrook watched Emily's transformation with quiet amazement. Her journey from factory worker to office manager seemed like a quiet revolution, inspiring those around her who had forgotten how to dream. The promotion came unexpectedly. Mr. Thompson called her into his office one crisp autumn morning. "You've become our most reliable administrative manager," he said, his usual stern face showing a hint of genuine pride. The salary increase meant more than money. It meant recognition of her hard work and potential. Emily's first action wasn't about herself. She started a support group for working mothers at the community center. Every Thursday evening, women would gather, some from the factory, some from offices, some struggling to balance work and family. They shared strategies, offered support, offered hope. Tom was changing too. His football skills had improved dramatically. The local coach spoke about potential scholarships, words that once would have seemed like impossible dreams. He was becoming a young man who understood the value of hard work and determination. Lucy's musical talent blossomed. She won a school competition, her piano performance bringing tears to Emily's eyes. The little girl who once watched from the sidelines was now center stage, her music telling a story of hope and possibility. Margaret watched her daughter's journey with quiet pride. "You're breaking cycles," she would repeat, remembering the struggles of her own generation. Her support had been the invisible foundation of Emily's transformation. The support group became more than just a meeting. It became a community. Women, who once felt isolated, now found strength in each other. They shared job opportunities, childcare tips, emotional support. Emily's leadership was gentle but powerful. At home, the apartment reflected their journey. Tom's football trophies stood alongside Lucy's music certificates. Family photos showed a progression, from struggle to hope, from survival to thriving. Each image told a story of resilience. Emily continued her education. Night classes, online. Courses, always learning. The computer that once terrified her was now a tool of possibility. She was studying business management, dreaming of future opportunities. The local newspaper did a small feature on her story. "Local mother transforms her life." The headline seemed almost too simple to capture her journey. But for Millbrook, it was extraordinary. Finances stabilized. No more constant worry about bills. Holidays became times of joy, not stress. Small luxuries, a family dinner out, new books, a weekend trip, became possible. These weren't just expenses, but celebrations of their journey. Tom started helping other students. His experience taught him more than just football skills. He understood the power of mentorship, of lifting others as you climb. His quiet confidence inspired his peers. Lucy's music became more than a hobby. She started teaching younger children, her patience a reflection of her mother's journey. Her small hands that once struggled now played with confidence and grace. The support group expanded. Women from different backgrounds found common ground. They shared job training information, supported each other through challenges. Emily's small initiative was becoming a community movement. Mr. Thompson saw more in Emily than just an employee. He became a mentor, offering guidance, creating opportunities. Her dedication had transformed her from a part-time worker to a valued team member. Margaret's health was slowing, but her spirit remained strong. She watched her daughter and grandchildren, knowing she had played a crucial role in their transformation. Her love had been the silent strength behind their journey. One evening, looking at her family, Emily realized something profound. Success wasn't just about money or position. It was about hope, about showing your children that challenges can be overcome, about believing in yourself when no one else does. The small apartment on Maple Street was more than a home. It was a testament to human resilience, to the power of determination, to the magic that happens when love, hard work, and hope come together. Millbrook had seen many stories, but Emily's was special. Not because it was extraordinary, but because it was possible. A reminder that every person carries the potential for transformation.